Hi there. Today we're going to look at your product range and your service offering in your business to see whether there are ways where you can expand this out a little bit so you're able to sell more things to more people and possibly even more things to the same people that you already do business with. My name is Carl from Buzz Website Design and Marketing, and it's our job to help you to get more customers, typically around your internet marketing. And as a quick pointer, if you like what we do here, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's a link just up there where you'll get a regular email on when we publish these videos, which is normally once a week. So anyway, let's get cracking. First things first. One of the easiest things to do when you're looking at what it is you sell is to think about the questions that you get asked by your customers and potential customers. And you should always monitor what your customers particularly say to you and whether they ask you whether you've got such and such product or service. And if enough people ask you this, then chances are good that in their minds they've connected you with as a potential supplier of these particular products or services, and they're looking to you to fulfill their need. If they ask you if you sell it, they're looking to buy it, or they're interested in buying it. And as I said in a previous video, 4 out of 5 people who make an inquiry on a product or service eventually go on to buy it. Maybe not immediately, but 80% of people go out and eventually buy it. So the first thing is examine what people are saying to you. What is your audience? What is your target market? What are your customers saying to you? Are you having to say occasionally, I'm sorry, we don't do that? One of the biggest travesties in business that I've seen, and it's happened to me, is I ask a business if they can provide me with such and such because I think they would be a good fit, and they simply say no. In my view, it would be much wiser to simply say, you know, we don't do that right now, but if it's something you're interested in, we can look to incorporate it into our product range. Give me your details and we'll come back to you. Now, even if you can't help them, you're still not giving up on the prospect of being able to supply that product. If you get their contact details, you can get back to them and let you know, yes, we're putting this into place, bear with us, or simply say, no, I'm afraid we can't help you this time, but maybe these guys can. Let us know if you need any further help. Either way, you're not letting somebody who inquires about a service or product off the hook. It's a travesty for you to just say, no, we don't do this. If you genuinely don't, can't and won't, fine, do that. But you know, just get their contact details anyway, add them to your database. They might buy something from you at a later point. Another good thing to look at is product variations. It's their way of mixing up what it is that you do already to reach a wider market. You know, if you sell designer clothes, for example, it could be that some people in your market would like a red jacket as opposed to a blue one. Have you thought about whether just adding that to the product list as a product variation is going to enable you to sell more products? If you offer services, are there ways you can amend what you do to meet a different target market? For example, if you work with, say, people who run shops, for example, is there a way you can work with a variation on your product or service to help people in offices, for example? It's entirely up to you how you frame it, but there was almost always ways to get product variation in there. Obviously, as I've mentioned just a short time ago, you could introduce new products. And again, that comes back down to understanding your market and what they're interested in. And you could do some test marketing, dirt cheap, using your social media. You know, if you're big on Facebook, use Facebook. You can put out a Twitter survey or a LinkedIn survey. And you can ask people in your audience whether this would be useful to them, and if it is, how much money they'd be interested in paying for it, and whether it's something that they consider if you offered it. Again, if you don't ask, you never know, but it's not going to cost you anything to find out. So how can you add new products? Another great way of working this out is to consider offering upgrades to things. And this is something we've introduced a lot over the last few years with our web design business. So we offer varying packages of web design with additional help, support, some SEO, some marketing thrown in too. And interestingly enough, because we have the upgrades there, the overwhelming majority of our customers will buy an upgrade. The lowest price, bottom end, entry level product is bought by roughly 1/3 of our clients. Most people just buy the middle package of the three. So can you provide an upgrade? Is there an additional service or an additional product for an advantageous price that you can offer to your customers. And another one which we've really latched onto over this last year, and there's a bit of a story behind this, because I had a chat with our marketing coach, Paul Chapman, and that was in the spring of last year, 2016, and we looked at different ways to get more value out of the business. And I thought that as a web design company, we were doing some web design, we were doing web hosting, a little bit of support here and there, occasionally a bit of training, and I thought there were just 4 or 5 different ways we could provide income from our business. And after sitting down with Paul, we worked out that there was actually 10, at that time there was 10 different ways that we could provide income coming in to our business, different services and products that we could do, package up and do. And what's interesting is that much of it revolved around the fact that we were doing stuff for clients and not necessarily charging them for it. We were providing services that we hadn't even thought about packaging up. We were just giving them away. Now that's all well and good to a point. You want to help people, you want to provide a great service, you want customers to be happy. But if you're spending an awful lot of your time just servicing customers who ask you to do little bits and pieces here and there, then you could spend your whole time giving away all this free help and not actually generating any income. That wasn't quite our position, but it was becoming a bit of a challenge. So we introduced a couple of packaged products to some of our more, I wouldn't say demanding products, but customers rather. That we simply said, look, if you buy this package, we'll give you X amount of help or support. Now that was unique to us. You know, we're now introducing almost all of these different products and services, and we're revising what we're doing in terms of what we offer to whom and how much it costs, and we revisit this regularly. But the key is, are you doing stuff for your customers that you could quite readily package up and sell? You need to bear in mind that many will buy it, many won't. That's just the nature of the game, but at least you'll be getting paid for some of the work that you used to give away. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, you have a business to run, you have an income to generate, you probably have a family to feed, and why would you not want to get paid for the work that you're doing? It just makes no business sense. So have a think about, what are you currently doing that you're giving away that you could quite readily package up and sell? And finally, I mean it's not the only, finally for this video, is when you give work to other people, there are times when we genuinely can't do stuff. Or we're being asked to do things that we don't have the technical skills, we don't have the managerial skills, and sometimes it's just a project that we don't want to get involved in because it's way beyond what we normally work on. And there's a lot of risk in that. It's a great way to bring in loads of business, but if you're not confident you can fulfill it, then you know it's a recipe for disaster if it's not done well. And to be honest, we don't need to go there. But the point is this: when we do give work away, when we hand it out to other people, we always make sure that there's an affiliate arrangement in place. And likewise, when people give us work too, we always make sure that there is some way of giving recompense to the person who passes us a job or a contract or a potential client. And likewise, and if you've got stuff that you don't do and won't/can't do, like in our particular case, then if you give that work to somebody else, try and arrange an affiliate fee. And that's just between you and the supplier. You can tell the people who originally came to you that yes, we've got an affiliate arrangement with these guys, we're going to get a fee for having passed it over if you want. You're not obliged to, unless you're in financial services, in which case you have to declare it. But if you're working with another organization and feeding them work which is not within your sphere of expertise, then there's nothing wrong with you saying, look, well, what's my fee for passing you this client? And that might, again, sound a little bit mercenary, but ultimately, you're winning work here. Because you can't fulfill it, it's not necessarily your fault. And so there's nothing wrong with passing that work over to somebody else and getting paid for it. It's just like being a commission salesman. So don't neglect affiliates. If there are things you can't do, and don't want to do, but you pass it on to other people, never ever be afraid to simply say, well, what am I going to get out of this? And that's not unreasonable, and most people in business are reasonable people. So just a few ideas then for you to help you to work on your product base and your product offering to expand out your business. The interesting thing is that if you do this well, you can sell many of these additional or variable products to your existing customers. So you can increase your sales without having to go out and find a whole load of new people and bring them into your business. You can offer this stuff to existing customers. And that's what we've been doing over this last year by offering upgraded services, managed hosting services, etc. We're just in the process of introducing some training packages in the near future. So it's all going to go out, first of all, to our existing customers. Why? Because they're the low-hanging fruit. Most of them like doing business with us. In fact, all of the ones we keep like doing business with us. So they're likely to be the ones most ready in the market because they know us, they trust us, they like us, we've worked hard, we've done well for them in the past, so why wouldn't they give it serious thought? And then once that's done, then we can go out to the wider market. So, loads of stuff in there. Please remember that if you put this stuff into action, things will happen. If you don't, nothing is going to change. But this stuff really isn't difficult. And if you do want a hand with working out some of this stuff, please give us a call. More than happy to come down and help. To just sit with you to work out where the potential income opportunities are within your business. But anyway, that's enough from me. I really appreciate you watching. Subscribe to the channel once again, and thanks for watching. Bye for now.